Now, you got band 8 in writing, which is absolutely phenomenal. What are your tips for students looking to get a high score in IELTS writing?
This is something I had to work on actually very hard. And I think the first tip is to understand the structure. So on test day, you don't spend your time figuring out what should be first, what should come second, these things. So you have to be very familiar with the structure so that you just focus on your ideas and the vocabulary and grammar and everything else.
And which one did you find easier, task 1 or task 2?
Task 2, to be honest, yeah, because task 1, it took me 30 minutes to finish task 1 before I proceeded to task 2. And then, of course, you have to keep that in mind, that you need time to look through your writings and to check the spelling and the punctuation and everything. So at least 5 minutes I would recommend is needed to do that.
How many words do you think you wrote for task 1 and task 2?
Task 1 was about 250 and task 2 was almost 400 words.
Yes. Okay, that's very interesting. So almost double the minimum
Yeah.
word count for task 1
Yeah.
and task 2.
But it's not an issue for me. Like, as I have been preparing for the exam, I thought to myself, like, how do I make it shorter? Like, I always come up with too many ideas, too many sentences, so it's almost 400 words all the time, like for the task 2 essay. And then I came across your videos where you were discussing this moment, and I like realized that I shouldn't make it shorter. If I make it 400, let it be 400.
Let
Who
it be
cares?
400. It's a
Yeah.
strange myth that people or a lot of teachers think that you have to get to, say, 160 words for task 1 and 270 words for task 2. It's just a total myth. These are minimum word counts, and what I found is the students like you that are getting band 8, and there's not many of them, band 8.5, there's even a student that's got band 9, they're writing, almost double the word count. In fact, the guy who did band 9 wrote over double the word count.
And I'm so happy I came across your videos, because otherwise I would have probably, um, you know, tried to make it shorter, and for no obvious reason.
Yes, and you might have still got band 7.5, and you might have been very happy about that. But here you are sitting with band 8 in IELTS writing, which is just incredible.
Yeah. Next time I will try better. I will do better. I hope so.
Now you
Yeah.
got band 8 for IELTS speaking. Congratulations. What tips do you
Thank you.
have for that?
Oh, well, first of all, read, listen a lot in English, right? So you have to know a lot of words that are topic related words, not just general words. You cannot impress the examiner by using just words that are fancy ones or like C1, C2 level, but they don't really fit to the context.
Yeah.
They don't really make sense. So you can go ahead and learn a bunch of idioms and then try to just to impress the examiner by using them inappropriately. That would not secure a high score for you. So be relaxed, be natural, because there is this thing when you look at the band descriptors. There is this sentence that says uses idiomatic language, and what people automatically assume is that idiomatic means using idioms.
Yes.
That's not true. Idiomatic means natural, appropriate, spot on, like according to the context, but not just idioms. You cannot say, I'm over the moon to be taking this exam. I'm so happy.
Especially if people say it with a deadpan expression. If they say, and I was over the moon when I woke up. And, that shows that they're not using it in the correct context, because they're quite clearly not over the moon about waking up that morning. And so I really like what you said about being topic specific. You got 8.5 in IELTS listening. What tips could you share for us?
Well, you just have to expose yourself to the language, right? And to different variations of it and different languages and accents. And in my life, I've done a lot of that. To be honest, personally, I don't find it difficult to understand English, whether it's spoken by an Australian person or a person from Canada or America, or even, like people sometimes from China or Japan, or like pretty much around the world. So for me, it's not an issue.
So,
And
how
apart
do
from that,
you expose yourself to English then? Is it from podcasts or movies or reading the news?
movies mostly, yes, watching different TV shows, movies, talk shows. I find it most efficient because in movies everything is kind of edited, right, by the script writers, and when you watch TV shows, it's always spontaneous. So people play it by ear, and they can use different kinds of expressions, collocations, and you know.
Is there a talk show that you would recommend for English language learners?
Oh, whenever I'm asked this question, like what would you recommend? My answer is always it's better to go for something you like,
Mm.
because what's the reason to force yourself to listen to or watch something that someone else finds interesting rather than just follow your passion, your interests? And I think that's the best.
Now, you got band 8 in IELTS reading. What are your tips?
To be honest, I personally find it the most difficult part of the IELTS, because those passages contain a lot of difficult words, technical words sometimes, and it's really hard to find the right answer because they paraphrase the questions. They don't use the same words as in the text itself. Sometimes it seems that this answer fits and this one also fits. So you have to really understand all the nuances and the details. And for me, what helps me to do that is to go and read the whole passage from the beginning to the end, and not the structure that some people recommend, when you just look at the question and then you find the answer in the text. For me, it doesn't work. I need to have a very good grasp of the gist of the details, and in order to find the correct answer. I would read the text entirely and then look at the questions, and then it would be so much easier for me to understand where exactly I should be looking for the answer, because I already know the gist.
Mm.
So I then just look more thoroughly onto the paragraphs, like separately, and trying to find the right answer.
Did you find it difficult to finish the reading test on time?
Yes, to be honest, yes. I had to. The reason I got 8 and not higher than 8, I think, was it was due to a lack of time. Because I remember that the last question, I just thought to myself, all right, that doesn't make sense. This one also doesn't make sense. Okay, let it be this one.
Right. What some students do is they leave the multiple choice till the end because they've got the highest chance of being able to kind of make an educated guess quickly. For example, if there's only A, B, C, or D, you've got a 25% chance if you guess, but maybe a 50% chance if you think it's just between two options. So you can leave the multiple choice until the very end.
You have to just do a lot of mock tests before you really attempt the real IELTS exam, so you come up with your own strategy. I think that's the best way.
Okay, a big thank you for sharing all of your tips. That's been absolutely
Okay.
wonderful.
That's my pleasure.